let's keep exploring the AI pattern planning, this time with a NoSQL database integration.
In the previous video, we explained about how to do and execute the planning AI pattern. So we have this class here that is mocking everything. So instead of doing a proper request, we are just mocking. In this video, we're gonna do one step forward, putting a proper integration. In this case, I will use database, so NoSQL database to make it happen, and exploring Oracle NoSQL. Once I'm using Jakarta EE, is natural that I will use the Jakarta NoSQL specification. So I'll check my dependencies. As you can see, I need to include the JSON to serialize JSON objects, the JNOSQL Oracle NoSQL driver, where it brings both the specification, the implementation, and also the drive to use Oracle NoSQL. If I want to switch, it's super simple. I just need to come here and change my driver to MongoDB, ArangoDB, and so on. So as I mentioned before, it is pretty similar to switching to AI provider using LangChain4j. Given that, the next step is create the entities. So I will create first my user entity, and it is super similar to a Jakarta persistence, the API. So I will create my ID, my email, my name, and to give success and to define this attribute as NoSQL ones, I just need to use annotations like I do with Jakarta persistence. So I come here, I will define my entity here, I will define my ID, and I will define those two as columns. So, and that is it. I will create a default constructor, and then I'll put my getters and setters. And to simplify the creation, I will include a factor method. So I come here, public static user of string email and name, and then I have it. So I will just do a small change here that I will define my ID as UUID random. So right now I have a proper entity user. Then I go to my order. So I will create first a status of order. So order status, that will be on and none. So let's say we have the pending, ship delivery, and canceled. And then I will have my order entity. So we can use a regular class or records. I'll just use a record class here. So you have the ID and the difference between those. So the entity, and here I will put my string ID, my string customer ID, then product and status. So I will not include this, and the ID is pretty the same. So I will define the ID as an ID, and then the anything else as column. So customer ID, product, and order status. Because we only have I will create a factor method here. So I have my product. I will inject, let's say, my user. And then here I will define each attribute I'm gonna use. So I use the ID. Here I will define my random UUID. And then I have my method that is cancel, order, cancel. So I will create my product with pending and then define my order as a cancel, and then I will generate a new class because records are immutable. So in this scenario, it's better to fit on a regular class. I'm just using that to show that you can use both. We need to have the, let's say, the contract of integration between those entities and the database. We have two ways, two specifications. We are using Jakarta NoSQL, but we can integrate with Jakarta data. So I will explain to you how to achieve that. So I come here, I will create my interface called repository. So I will define my order repository. I will extend that to the basic repository where I have my order and a string, and then I will define as repository using the repository annotation, and that is it. I don't need anything else. I need to create a query here because I want to find all orders that is open by the customer ID. So I'm assuming that I must have a single order, right? That is found by customer ID. I can use the, let's say, the method by query. That is possible, but once I have two conditions, I will use my query. So I will have my where customer ID equals customer ID, customer ID, and I want the status because of that. So right now I have my integration. Let's create also the user repository. So I come here, I will create my user repository. I will define the add repository and then extend the basic repository where I have my user and my string. In this case, I want to find user by email. So that is it. I don't need to handle anything else. Once we created the repository, the next step is to create a service to handle these operations. So we have here our order service. I already created just to save time and make the video short. But basically, what did I do? I just moved those tools annotations to this method and then put the operation itself. So I'm doing a search by customer ID. I'm doing the operation of cancel order. I injecting the order repository, as you can see here. I did a pretty similar idea inside my, that is my order, the user service. So I inject my repository. I identify it as a document. And then I'm find by email. So as you can see, in the past, we had a single class doing that. Right now we have two classes. The next step is to switch or remove these and include our new classes. So the user service and then the order service. So I will include those in my constructor. I will just remove the enterprise tools. And then, based on the injection, I will do the order service. Naturally, as much as I have service, it doesn't make sense to do it manually. You can use qualifier, you can use instance, you can use, let's say, a polymorphism to define those operations. So in this case, once I only have two, it is fine, but if I have more, I can create an interface and inject the whole implementation of this interface. So I switch. I have my order set up. That basically I'm injecting the repository, and then based on the email, I'm creating a order, and also I'm creating an order. So I'm creating a user and then an order. And that is it. So I will now execute. Let's see it working. So I come here and then I will execute. So here is my integration, analysis, and then the two will check in the call. So it found the user. Right now it's canceling the order. And let's see. So we got the refund, and that is it. So it got the regular message here. That's it for today. Hopefully you enjoy. If you want to learn more and enhance your abilities as software engineer and software architects, don't forget to subscribe. And if you enjoy the video, give it a like.